The Ocean's Dream, Part 1. The sea was alive that morning. The waves slapped against the wooden docks of Windrest Harbor, gulls wheeled overhead, and ships rocked gently as their sails caught the salty wind. The town bustled with traders shouting prices, fishermen hauling their catch, and children running barefoot over the cobblestones. Among the noise and motion, a boy stood high above the chaos, perched dangerously on the mast of a moored ship. His black hair whipped in the breeze, his grin reckless and wide. "Someday," Cale Duskgrow shouted at the horizon, his voice rising above the gulls, "I'll sail past those waters. I'll find the ocean's dream and prove to the world that nothing is impossible." An old fisherman below cupped his hands and bellowed back, "Oi, get down from there before you crack your skull, boy." Cale only laughed. "If I can't balance here, old man, how am I supposed to balance on the deck of a real ship?" He spread his arms wide, wobbling like a tightrope walker, then leapt down with reckless energy, landing in a crouch. Most of Windrest thought him a fool. 17 years old, no money, no ship, no crew. Just a boy with messy hair, patched clothes, and dreams far too large for his pocket. But Cale didn't care. To him, the sea wasn't a boundary. It was a promise. His stomach growled loudly enough to draw stares. Dreams were fine, but breakfast was better. Cale wandered through the market, eyes darting from steaming meat skewers to baskets of fresh bread. His belly rumbled like a cannon. "If dreams were food," he muttered, rubbing his stomach, "I'd be stuffed every day." His eyes landed on a baker's stall where golden loaves glistened in the sunlight. His mouth watered. His hand twitched. "Just one loaf," he told himself. "I'll pay him back after I become king of the seas." He reached out, quick as a flash. "Hey, thief," the baker roared. Cale's grin split wide as he bolted, clutching a warm loaf. "Sorry, destiny waits for no one," he shouted, weaving through the crowd as crates toppled and merchants cursed. He darted around a corner and wham, slammed straight into someone. Both tumbled hard to the ground, the bread flying. "Watch where you're going," a sharp female voice snapped. She scrambled up, cloak flaring open to reveal a curved sword at her side, etched with strange markings. Her eyes were fierce and cautious, like someone who trusted no one. Cale sat up, rubbing his head. Then he noticed the sword and whistled. "Whoa, nice blade. You must be someone dangerous. Wanna share this bread?" The girl stared at him, unimpressed. "That's stolen." "Borrowed," Cale corrected with a grin. "Temporary ownership. Name, Cale Duskgrow, future king of the seas." She snorted. "Right, and I'm the Empress of the Stars." But when Cale tore the loaf in half and offered her a piece, her eyes softened just slightly. Hunger made allies of strangers. They sat on the dock together, eating in silence for a while. Cale studied her curiously. She was about his age, maybe a little older, with sharp brown eyes and hair tied back in a rough braid. She looked like she'd traveled far, her cloak worn and boots muddy. "So," Cale asked between bites, "what's your name, Empress?" The girl hesitated, then sighed. "Lyra." "Lyra, huh? You've got the look of someone with a story. Where are you headed?" "Anywhere but here," she said quietly, staring at the waves. "I'm searching for something." Cale's grin widened. "Then you're just like me, searching, chasing, hungry for adventure. Perfect. You should join my crew." She turned to him sharply. "Crew? You don't even have a ship." "Not yet," Cale admitted, undeterred. "But I've got the most important thing already." He tapped his chest. "A dream, the ocean's dream, ever heard of it?" Lyra's eyes flickered with recognition. "That old legend. They say it's a treasure hidden beyond the grand ocean, holding the power to change the world." "Exactly," Cale said, eyes blazing. "And I'm gonna find it no matter what." For a moment, Lyra studied him, measuring his reckless confidence. Then she chuckled softly, the first hint of amusement on her lips. "You're insane." "Maybe," Cale said with a wink, "but insanity makes history." Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of heavy boots and angry shouts. The baker had brought reinforcements, 3 burly dock guards stomping toward them. "There he is," the baker cried. "That's the thief." Lyra stood quickly, hand on her sword. "We need to run." Cale's grin returned. Finally, some excitement. He grabbed her wrist, and together they sprinted down the dock, leaping over barrels and dodging ropes. The guards thundered after them, but Cale's laughter echoed louder than their boots. "Welcome to my crew, Lyra," he shouted as they escaped into the maze of alleys. "I never agreed," she snapped, though she didn't let go of his hand. By the time they lost the guards, both were breathless and laughing. For Cale, it was the start of something more than an escape. It was the beginning of a partnership, one that would carry him into storms far greater than Windrest could ever imagine. Because somewhere out there, across seas no map could chart, lay the ocean's dream. And Cale Duskrow had just found the first crewmate on his reckless journey toward it.